Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips MLB Daily Fantasy Preview Show for today, the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to all my American viewers. I can tell you now it's 5 years since I was last in the States on the 4th of July. Mark Burley and the White Sox beat the Kansas City Royals with a walk-off balk, I think, in the game I was at that day. Anyway, I am here to go through everything you need for your daily fantasy Major League Baseball games on DraftKings today. For those of you that haven't had a chance to sign up and play with DraftKings yet, I will pop a link into the description to enable you to do that today. We are going to be looking at starting pitchers. We're going to be looking at stacks of the day, how we can construct our lineups to ensure maximum point scoring potential. We're going to take a look at foundation players who should be used as the basis upon which we build our winning lineups, and a value play at each position. Diving right in at starting pitcher, we'll go with Danny Salazar of the Cleveland Indians. He's the most expensive pitcher today at $11,200. He would look like being clearly the top play. He is facing a Tigers unit that does swing and miss above average. He is an elite strikeout pitcher with 107 punch-outs in 93 and 1/3. He went 5-0 with a 1.91 ERA in the month of June. That being said, in the month of June, his worst start was against the Detroit Tigers. He did not last 6 innings in that game. He did allow 3 runs, earned runs. So there is a word of warning there with Salazar, but he does look a solid play today. He does look like he'll give you production. Kyle Hendricks of the Chicago Cubs is 10,400. Hendricks' numbers at home in 7 starts are 4-1 with a 1.93 ERA. He does have a strikeout per inning in games at home as well. With the Reds coming in, who do rank in the top third of the sides in Major League Baseball, 4 strikeouts and somewhat struggling at the plate, it does look a chance for Hendricks to get the Cubs back on the rails after they were swept in New York. Hendricks beat the Reds earlier this season, allowing 2 earned runs. I think there's a lot of positives for Kyle Hendricks today as well. Nick Tropiano of the Los Angeles Angels is 9,200. That alone tells you how pitching is a tough position to be filling today if Tropiano is this expensive. However, Tropiano does return to the rotation for the game with Tampa. The Rays rank in the top 5 in baseball for punch-outs. They are better against lefties, and the park is a help. Tropiano is not far off 1 per inning in his appearances this year. I would worry about the win, as that does involve trusting the Los Angeles Angels lineup to produce some runs. Now, yeah, they scored 21 2 days ago, but they are not what you would call prolific at the plate. But Tropiano, I think, is a solid play today. Archie Bradley of the Arizona Diamondbacks is 8,500. Bradley has been really good his last 3 starts. He's gone 1-0 with 5 runs allowed across those starts, having limited the home runs despite one of those starts taking place at Coors Field. He is worth over a strikeout per inning this season. He gets the Padres, who rank in the top 5 for strikeouts. There's a lot to like with the matchup, and I think against Luis Perdomo, the win chances are there for Bradley today as well. Matt Harvey of the New York Mets is $7,000. Despite going 0-3 in June, Harvey was stung by the Mets' offensive woes. He had a 2.83 ERA, and just maybe the Dark Knight returns now. Strikeouts are down on his career rate, which is a worry, but he does carry upside at a reasonable price today, and I wouldn't put anyone off using maybe Jared Eichhoff of Philly or CC Sabathia against the White Sox, who do struggle with lefties as well. But pitching does look reasonably hard to get anything where you feel you've got guaranteed production today. Looking at our stacks of the day, I'm going to put up to the New York Yankees. Yes, James Shields was almost solid for the last 2 starts, but it is still US Cellular Field, it is still James Shields, and he has been hammered by lefties this year, and as we all know, the Yankees can line up the lefties at the top of their lineup. Outfielder Jacoby Ellsbury's 4,100. He has 2 home runs off of James Shields. 277 hitter, only 3 home runs this year, but he does add upside with 16 stolen bases. Brett Gardner in the outfield for 3,700. Yeah, he has been slumping a little bit, but he's a 254 hitter. Will also hit from the right side of the platoon. Has 5 homers and 12 steals on the year as well. Carlos Beltran in the outfield, the DH spot will be available today now they're back in the American League. He's 5,100. He's obviously a switch hitter, but he is better hitting left-handed. 298 with 19 home runs this year. And catcher Brian McCann will also hit from the right side of the platoon. He'll set you back 4,600. 233 with 13 home runs this year. The other stack I'm looking at is the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't trust Edinson Volquez. Do we take the pitcher who shut out the Blue Jays in the playoffs, or the man who's compiled a 6.46 ERA ERA in 6 winless regular season starts against Toronto. On recent performances, what we've seen, I think we have to take the latter. Volquez has an ERA approaching 5.5 on the road this year, and I think the Jays can tee off today. At first base, Edwin Encarnacion for 5,400 has a home run off of Volquez. He's a 265 hitter with 22 home runs on the year. His last 7 games, he's hit 375 with 3 home runs. Josh Donaldson, the AL MVP at third base, is 5,300. He's hitting 298 with 20 home runs this year. The last 7 games, he's hitting 387 with 3 home runs. Another hitter in form. Shortstop Troy Tulowitzki for 4,100. He's 232, 14 homers the year. His last 7 games, 4 home runs and a 323 average. An outfielder, Michael Saunders, for 4,000 will hit from the right side of the platoon. It's a 294 hitter with 15 home runs this year. Looking at our foundation players today, at first place, David Ortiz of the Boston Red Sox. Puppy is a 338 hitter with 19 home runs this year. He'll set you back 5,500 today. He's hitting from the right side of the platoon. He has crushed right-handed pitching all year long. Second baseman, Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros, is 5,600. He hits from the right side of the platoon against Wade Miley, who he has taken out of the yard before. He's got 14 home runs, 21 steals this year. He's hitting 373 with 4 homers in his last 15 games, which he obviously rode to being voted AL Player of the Month for June. Third baseman Jake Lamb of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I know this isn't rocket science. He's 5,500. He has a home run off of Luis Perdomo. He's 290 with 19 homers on the year, hitting from the right side of the platoon in this matchup. In his last 15 games, he's hit 364 with 7 home runs. Corey Seager is my shortstop of the Dodgers for 4,900. He hits from the right side of the platoon against the inconsistent Giovanni Gallardo. He's hitting 303 with 17 home runs this year. And in the outfield, I will take Stephen Piscotty of the St. Louis Cardinals for 4,300. He hit a grand slam home run last night. That was his 2nd homer in 3 games. He's hitting from the right side of the platoon. He does crush lefties. 294 hitter this year with 10 home runs. For my value plays today, at catcher, I will take Wilson Contreras of the Chicago Cubs, who does also qualify in the outfield. It's 3,600. He's hitting from the right side of the platoon. He's hitting 294 with 4 home runs in 51 at-bats since he was promoted to the big leagues earlier last month. My first baseman is Miguel Cabrera of the Detroit Tigers for 3,900. Yes, it's Danny Salazar. I know that, but we do get a discount because it's Salazar. Miggy is platoon proof. He hits righties just as well as he does lefties. He has 2 home runs off of Danny Salazar. He's hitting 298 with 18 home runs this year. At second base is Robinson Cano of the Seattle Mariners. He's 4,000. Hits from the right side of the platoon. In many ways, because of his home yard, is better on the road. He's a 304 hitter with 19 home runs this year. Also, I will stick Kyle Seager of Seattle at third base for 3,900. Also hitting from the right side of the platoon. 270 hitter with 16 home runs this year. My shortstop is Addison Russell of the Chicago Cubs. He's 3,400 today. He has a home run off of Cody Reed in the earlier matchup last week where I believe the Cubs won 9-2, was it? He's hitting 235 with 8 home runs from the right side of the platoon in the matchup. And my outfielder is Michael Saunders of the Toronto Blue Jays for $4,000. He has the platoon advantage against Edinson Volquez, 294 with 15 home runs this year. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy your holiday. That is all I have for you today. The best of luck with your lineups. Let's make some money. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to like the video. Hit me up in the comments with the daily fantasy plays you like today and press that subscribe button. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I will be here all MLB season and through the NFL season with daily fantasy sports advice. If you haven't signed up yet, or you're interested in starting to play daily fantasy sports, please click the link in the description for this video and that'll take you where you need to go to start playing with DraftKings today. Best of luck with your lineups and have a great day.